Hi, welcome back. This is the fourth video of navigating ecCLOUD with confidence. In the previous video, we explored the options on the site menu. And in today's video, we will go down to the bottom level, which is the device level, and explore the device menu. As the device menu is different for different product lines, this video will be on the device menu for Wi-Fi access or wireless access points. So without further ado, let's start. So by now you probably know the drill. We're again starting from the cloud level. So to get to the device level, you have several options. The first option is to go to the devices page directly from the cloud level. And here you'll be able to access the device. Then your second option is if you have a lot of devices managed under this cloud, you can do a keyword search. You can, for example, type in the name of this device that you're looking for. Then your third option, if you know which site this device was registered under, you can go to the site level and go to the devices page. And then you'll be able to access the device from here. So we're going to access this device, which is a SparkWave 2 AC1200. And this is a dual band access point. It has a 2.4 gig radio as well as a 5 gig radio. Now we're at the device level, and here's the device menu, and here is the dashboard. So you can find most of the details about the device here on the dashboard page. For example, you can see the firmware version, the main MAC address, the serial number, model name, and so on. Then you can also see if this access point has been connected to a switch that is also managed by ecCLOUD. Then you can see which switch it's connected to and which port it's connected on. Then if we scroll down, we can see the live status of both of the radios. You can see channel utilization, radio utilization, and traffic if there's any. Then this access point has two Ethernet ports. Port number 0 right now is used as the internet source, so you can see some traffic going on here. But at the moment, port number 1 is not connected, so it's showing no link. Then if you do have some active clients on this device, you'll be able to see the most active clients by upload and by download. Then if you scroll to the bottom, you can also see the active leases. So that's for dashboard. Now moving on to statistics. So after you click on statistics, a sub-menu will be revealed. The first option you have here is wireless. So here you can see the physical settings as well as the active SSIDs of the radio. And you can also see historical graphs on the traffic, utilization, and client count by SSID per radio. Then you can view the graphs by day, week, or month. So that's for wireless. Then moving on to networks. So here is showing all the network interfaces. And you can see which Ethernet port or which SSID is bridged with which interface. So we've mentioned that Ethernet port 0 is right now the internet source. So you can see it bridged with the internet interface. Then we've also mentioned there's a second port, which is port number 1. Right now it's bridged with the default local network. It's bridged with this interface because if we go to configuration and general networking, you can see that there's a section that allows you to configure Ethernet settings. So here, Ethernet port 0 is being used as the internet source. And Ethernet port number 1 right now has its network behavior set to route to internet, and traffic is being routed through the default local network. So this is why it's bridged with the default local network on the networks page. So another thing that we would like to mention is that we have set up a VLAN ID of 100, and we have tagged both Ethernet ports. So we've set up this VLAN ID because we're using it for our SSIDs. So if we go back to the networks page, you can see there is a network interface called Data VLAN Tag 100, and both of the Ethernet ports are bridged with this interface. So the idea is that for an Ethernet port that is not being used as the internet source, the interface that this Ethernet port is bridged with depends on its network behavior setting. And it's the same idea for wireless SSIDs. Now if we scroll down, we can see port traffic on both of the Ethernet ports. And again, because port number 1 is not connected at the moment, there's no traffic showing. Now the last option under statistics is system. Here you can see memory usage, CPU utilization, and connection quality of this device. And you can also view the graphs by day, week, or month. Now moving on to clients. So remember that at the site level, you could also see wireless clients. And here you can also filter by frequency range and show the wireless clients currently connected or have previously connected. Now let's move on to activity. So the activity page is present at all levels, but the activity page at the device level will only show activities that are related to this device. However, this includes site configuration changes if this device chooses to inherit site level settings. Now configuration. You can see that under configuration, there are a number of tabs, and we will go through the tabs one by one. So the first tab is Wireless SSID. So under Global Settings, there is an option called Auto Disable Broadcast. So if you enable this option, when the device cannot connect with the cloud, the SSID broadcast function will be disabled. Then here you can add or edit SSIDs, and you can also set up schedules for your wireless SSIDs. Then radio settings. Under global settings, you can only view the regulatory country, but cannot change it. This setting can only be changed at the device level if the device does not inherit site level settings. Then if you scroll down, you can also customize the radio settings for your 5 GHz and your 2.4 GHz radios. Then general networking. So this is the page we had come to earlier. So the first part would be your internet settings. You can set which port should be the internet source and its IP address mode and so on. Then you can enter your IPv6 settings, customize your Ethernet settings here and your VLAN settings here. Then local networks. So these are the networks hosted by this device. And in addition to the default local network, you can also add additional custom LANs so that if you select route to internet as the network behavior, you can choose a different network to route traffic through instead of the default local network, which is the default option. Then guest network is for if you select add to guest network as the network behavior. Then firewall. ecCLOUD provides some firewall features to allow you to have more control over your network and to prevent malicious attacks. So you can set up firewall rules for the system to take certain actions on certain traffic based on the source and destination IP addresses and ports. Then if you scroll down, you can also set up port forwarding rules. Then we also support ARP inspection and DHCP snooping at layer 2. Then local logins. Remember that The default login name is root and the default login password is admin. However, once this device is managed by the cloud will generate a random password for this device. So if you want to log in to this device, you now have to come to this page and check the new password for you to log in. Then hotspot. So you'll only be configuring the settings on this page if you have a wireless SSID or an Ethernet port that has hotspot controlled as its network behavior setting. Now let's move on to the last tab. Here you'll be able to customize general settings for this device. For example, you can choose to enable the radio LEDs or enable the reset button and so on. Then more importantly, you'll be able to control access to the system via SSH or Telnet. Then you can also control access to the web server via HTTP or HTTPS port. Then you can also configure your SNMP server settings here. So take a look at this page and customize the settings depending on your requirements. So the last thing we like to cover is that at the top here, there is a quick access toolbar. So here you can see very quickly the status of the device, and it's showing that it's connected to the cloud. Then you can perform a reboot or a firmware upgrade from here. Then if you click on this gear icon, you'll be able to change the basic settings for this device. You can rename it, change its inheritance policy, and so on. So in case you do run into any issues, we would ask you to help us fetch the troubleshooting file, and this is where you can do that. And in addition to fetching troubleshooting files, you can also perform packet captures or perform Wi-Fi scans on each of the radios or a pin test. And this quick access toolbar will always be here no matter which page you go to from the device menu. So it's a very useful tool that you can make use of. So that's all to this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it and learned something new. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at ecwifi@edge-core.com. We hope to see you again soon.